I woke up at 3:17 a.m. with invisible hands crushing my throat, gasping like I was drowning on dry land. My chest felt like it was caving in, ribs cracking under the weight of 23 years of silent bleeding. In that suffocating darkness, I finally killed the man I had become, the one who let everyone else live off my veins while I pretended it was love. My name is Dr. Adrian Vale. By day, I stand in sterile white rooms under harsh lights, my hands steady as I hold failing hearts and coax them back to beat with nothing but precision and raw willpower. By night, I was still the obedient shadow of a son, quietly draining myself dry for a family that only remembered I existed when they needed something. On paper, my life looked like the dream, the kid who escaped a decaying factory town where hope went to die. I built a quiet house on Willow Crest with a massive oak in the yard that whispered secrets in the wind. I had Sophia, my wife, who came home from long hospital shifts carrying the faint smell of disinfectant and unspoken exhaustion. Our two little girls, Lila and Emma, still believed their dad could fix anything with a hug and a story. But the cracks were already there, spreading like fractures in bone. Sophia would catch me staring at my phone after midnight, freezing like a ghost had touched me. She'd look at me with those tired, knowing eyes and say softly, "You're vanishing right in front of us, Adrian, and I'm running out of ways to pull you back." Her voice never rose, but it cut deeper than any scalpel I'd ever held. My father, Victor, was all granite and old grudges, his words heavy enough to steal the air from a room. My mother, Eleanor, drifted through everything like smoke, always smoothing over storms she never started. My younger brother, Damon, and his wife treated every problem like it was my sacred duty to solve, because I was the one who made it. That success turned me into their personal ATM, their emergency fund with a pulse. It started small, a few thousand for a crisis, then co-signing papers, then bigger asks that never stopped. Family looks out for family, my father would grunt, eyes shining with that endless hunger. One exhausted evening, after a 34-hour shift with someone else's blood still under my nails, my phone rang. Damon's voice slid through like grease on steel. "Found this perfect property up by the river. Just need your signature on a couple things. You won't even notice." My stomach knotted, but the guilt was already there, whispering that refusing would make me the monster. 18 months later, I had quietly poured over $110,000 into a riverside property I had never visited, never felt the mist off the water, never smelled the pine, never seen one photo. Every time I tried to say no, the wave hit. "Your mother's breaking down again. The kids need clothes. Blood is thicker than water." Sophia stood in our kitchen one night, arms wrapped around herself like she was holding her own pieces together. Her voice trembled with pure fatigue. "If you keep letting them cut chunks out of you, one day there'll be nothing left for me and the girls." I hated how right she was. Then came that bitter January morning. Between two open-heart surgeries, my hands still shaking from adrenaline, I opened the banking app and stopped every automatic transfer with one tap. The storm broke 2 weeks later. Endless missed calls, voicemails exploding with rage. My father's voice roared through the speaker. "What the hell do you think you're doing, boy?" I answered, my tone colder than any operating theater. "I stopped funding a life I never chose. I stopped being your oxygen mask." But that wasn't the worst of it. That same freezing night, my mother called, sobbing so hard she could barely form words. "How could you turn your back on your own blood? Damon's children keep asking why Uncle Adrian doesn't love them anymore." Her tears poured through the phone like acid. I listened, chest tightening again, until something inside me finally snapped clean in two. The real knife twist came when I discovered the truth they'd been hiding all along. Those emergencies, that luxury property, the endless drains, wasn't just need. Damon had been using my name, my credit, my reputation to fund a lifestyle he paraded in front of everyone while laughing behind my back about how the golden boy would always bail them out. They had never seen me as family. I was their resource, their backup plan, the sacrifice they expected to keep offering until nothing remained. I had spent decades unconsciously teaching my own daughters that love means lying down on the altar and bleeding quietly. That night, I buried the obedient son for good. No more slow death on their table. Some mornings I still jolt awake at 3 a.m., chest tight, wondering if I'm a villain in their version of the story, or the first one with the courage to finally walk away. Blood is supposed to be thicker than water. But what is it thicker than self-respect? Thicker than protecting the wife and daughters who never kept score, who never asked me to destroy myself. If your own family only reached for you when they needed to take something vital, pieces of your soul, your peace, your future, would you keep giving? Would you finally choose yourself and the ones who actually love you back? Tell me honestly in the comments. Because some nights, I still don't know if I made the right choice. But I know I finally chose